G'day, Josh from the Automotive Clinic. Alright, we've got a VZ Commodore come in with a engine light on. Now this has come from another workshop with a circuit fault. So we've got a P0443, which is the EVAP emissions control purge solenoid circuit malfunction. Now this is a very intermittent issue apparently with this car. It's only happening once every 2 or 3 months. It's had a new purge solenoid fitted. So we're going to test the wiring from the purge solenoid plug there down to the PCM, which is down here. See if we can get anything to act up and go from there. Now at the minute as the cars come in, the fault did set, the workshop hasn't cleared it, but it isn't a current issue, so it's not a present fault unfortunately. This is our wiring diagram here. As you can see, we've got a power feed coming to K, which is a pink wire, going to our purge solenoid, so we'll have a constant 12 volts key on up there, and then the ECM is going to ground that purge solenoid, and we can actually use the scan tool to test if it's grounding it correctly. While we set up the pulse width modulated control with the test light hooked up, what I'll do is I'll go through and wiggle the wiring harness. We'll see if we've got any cutouts or dropouts or anything like that and go from there. Alright, so we've got the key on, as you can see, we've got test light hooked up to battery ground, and we've got a good constant 12 volt feed on that pink wire. Now if we go through, wiggle this harness, which I've already done, all the way around the back, right up along here, we aren't losing that 12 volt feed anywhere, so that's going up the PCM, and then if we wiggle up and around the fuse box, we don't seem to be losing that 12 volt feed, which is a good thing. So next thing we're going to do is hook up the scan tool and go from there. So we'll hook the scan tool up and control the ground side. Alright, so we have got our EVAP purge solenoid commanded at 40%. As you can see, we're hooked up to battery positive. The ECU should be grounding that wire. We're back probed into the harness just over there, and it isn't grounding. So I actually tested this just before and it was functioning. It makes me think that we're going to have an ECU that's dropping out intermittently, because this harness is all intact along here. I don't think we're going to have a wiring issue, but next thing we'll do is unplug the ECU, get our pinouts and test the wiring from that plug back to the computer down there and go from there. Alright, so that's our pin 49 there. As you can see, we've got about an ohm resistance. Now obviously the resistance check isn't good enough to check that wire's integrity, so we're going to load test it next.